Good morning, guys. MWUSA, Season 3, Episode 261. And tired. I have a headache this morning. Had a long night last night. Woke up early this morning and did some other stuff that I've been working on. Made a few bucks. Made about $50 to be exact. And waiting for some other things to come in. Checked out a bunch of spreadsheets I'm working on. And then I remembered that there was a guy out of the office yesterday and I was supposed to do his work yesterday, and of course I forgot. So I just did his work for the day for yesterday, and it's still 8 o'clock in the morning, and now I'm heading into the office, and there's a couple fine-tuned items I have to do, double check that he would have had to do yesterday. I'll do that. No one will know one way or another, so I'll get those things done. But the things that people can see are all done, so that is all okay. This morning, woke up to sleet outside, and I'm sure everyone knows what sleet is. It's basically, it's raining ice, so like a slushy mess. So car is clean and everything because it's slushy. It's easy just to use the wipers for the car to be clean, but temperature is just above freezing right now, so got to be careful on my way to work. And there we go. Okay. And I just got another message from work. Something that wasn't working properly yesterday is working properly now, so that gives me more work to do when I get in. Today I have a couple meetings. I'm hoping to get to the casino twice. And then I have an early meeting. Actually, I'll only be able to get there once. And then I've got an early meeting outside the office. I'll do that, and then I'll try to get back out again after that. So that will be the goal. Go at lunch, and then one more time after that. I'll have to change clothes for my meeting when I get home. So I guess I should have just worn what I needed, but I didn't think about it. So let me think here. The last couple days, as you know, Monday, Tuesday, usually pretty boring, but with all the extra things I'm doing, it's keeping me busy. While we are on our trip, I'll do some analyzing because I'll have a lot of time. I'll do some analyzing of the stats of the other things that I'm doing to see what's worthwhile and what's worth keeping, and really get a grip on all that stuff. I guess really, for now, that's all I have for you. I'm going to let you go. I'm heading off to work, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. I was just reading the headlines. It is cold here, it's raining, and I read the headline that says, Trump appoints Herschel Walker as ambassador to the Bahamas. I'm like, oh man, I want to be ambassador to the Bahamas. Wouldn't that be nice? Have to fly down there every couple weeks. Anyway, all right, I'm leaving the office. It's afternoon already, and things are not going great because I had all these meetings spread out, and so I just finished my last meeting, and I would say let's get out of here and not come back to the office, but I had my director walk over with somebody who is going to get some information from legal, and the information is on a memory stick, and it needs to be scanned and whitelisted so that it can be used in our network. And he doesn't have it yet, so who knows when I'm going to get it. But whenever I do get it, I need to get it scanned and taken care of and ready for him to use. My problem is my meeting this evening is going to be before the workday ends, so I'm hoping he can get it to me in time for me to scan it and get it back to him. Right now, I am leaving the office. I've got my laptop sitting next to me, so it looks like I'm actively working, and I am heading to the casino. I am going to hopefully make a couple $100 here, and then head back to the office, wait around for this guy to bring this to me so I can get that taken care of. Then I'm going to leave the office, go home, change, get to my other meeting, and then decide what to do from there. So hopefully I can get out tonight and have an opportunity to make money, maybe make it an overnight But if that's not possible, maybe just hit 2 or 3 casinos tonight. If possible, nobody knows. We'll find out. So that's what's happening right now. Yesterday, just from my other endeavors that are Advantage Play, but are not casinos, I earned about $240, somewhere in there. So I'm very proud of that and happy about that, and I'll continue to expand that stuff, and that's something that I can do from anywhere. So that's awesome. So that's where we are right now. I will have to order food after I leave the casino, pick it up on the way to the office, and eat it at my desk while I'm waiting for this guy to show up with a memory stick. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. 39 degrees, rainy, cold, breezy. I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. I was in there for almost an hour, and no good all the way through. Just very little opportunity. First, as I'm walking in, I see a guy who checks all the machines walking out, and he's got his gift for the day. He's walking out, and I'm like, yeah, great, okay. At least I'll be able to just go in, take one quick lap, and I'll be in and out of here in no time. Grab my gift and just go on back to work. Not so. So what ended up happening is I'm looking around, I see nothing, and then I go to the high limit area, and I see a big play on a $15 a spin play. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hang back and see what happens here. Wait for this guy to lose, and then I'll come back in and, I'll pick it up. So I come back around 10 minutes later. Nope, still not done. Come back 10 minutes later. Nope, not done. And I kept coming back, and he was just slow playing it. I don't know if he knew that he was going to run out of money, and so he was trying to run it slow, but he must have run out of money 4 times on this machine, and go back and get 500 more, come back and go back and forth, turn the chair around, and then I'd get all excited. I'd come over to the high limit area, and I'd see no one in the seat, and then I'd walk up to it, and I'd see it was turned around, and he's got his card in it, and I'm like, come on, let's go. And finally, I just gave up, and all the other plays that I had were all tiny. I only made a couple tiny plays. Made like $14, less than one spin on that machine. And I said, all right, I'm just going to leave. It's too bad. I wanted to see how it turned out. But as I was walking away, he hit it, and it paid miserably. And he must have lost $3,000 on that thing. But he got his butt kicked pretty bad. So that's, at least I knew the outcome. Not that I'm happy that he lost, I'm unhappy that I didn't win instead of happy that he lost. Right now, I am going to go pick up some Chipotle on my way to the office, and then I'll eat it at my desk, waiting for this guy to come with that drive so that I can scan it, and then just go through my emails and stuff one more time, and I'll be done for the day, and then we'll figure out what to do from there. So that's what's happening right now. And don't wish you were here, because it's miserable out here. Not a fun drive, slippery, lots of traffic, slow, disgusting weather. So anyway, moving on, I'll be back. Alright guys, just left the office, heading home to change, and then going to my meeting. Right now, the weather is a lot better. The rain has stopped, wind has stopped, everything is calm for now. So heading off to this meeting, and hopefully I'll be back with you shortly to let you know I'm going to go play some who knows what, blackjack. I'll be back. Okay guys, I am back. It is late. After the meeting, I went back home, had dinner with the family, got the kids to bed, and now I am leaving. I should get to the casino about 11:15, maybe 20 after 11. And I need the steps anyway. I'm about 800 steps away from my goal for the day. And I have to say, I've been doing a really good job keeping my steps up, even on days that I'm not doing stuff. For a while there, I'd be at like 9,000 steps a day, and then on weekends I'd be like 2,000. But now it's been 115 days in a row that I've gotten my steps in for the day, which makes me feel good. Not losing any weight or feeling that much better, but hey, I'm sure I'm healthier somehow. So heading out to the casino and try to earn some points and try to get some steps in, make some money, and then I'll be back. And then by the time I get home, it'll only be about 4.5 hours before I have to leave in the morning for my trip, for my Thursday trip. So see what happens. I'll be back. Alright guys, as I am still continuing my trip to this casino, I wanted to discuss some things with you that I hadn't brought up for a while. So, as you know, I live in the Midwest, and sometimes I'll take the trip to Canada, but I don't always like to tell you when I do that, because I try to keep my whereabouts kind of private. It's just less heat that way too. So I wanted to tell you about a couple trips, about some things that happened to me in Canada, or going to Canada. So recently I had a trip, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, and I'm crossing the border, and I've already left U.S. territory, and I'm in line to get into Canada. And I didn't tell them I had more than $10,000, and I didn't have more than $10,000. But there's so many gray lines there. So at the moment, it's like $1.35 Canadian for every dollar US. So that means that $7,400 US is 10,000 Canadian. So if you have any more than 7,400 US, then you need to claim it or tell them about it, because that's over 10,000 Canadian. You need to probably not on the US side because it's under 10, but on the Canadian side, and then on the way back also tell them on the Canadian side that you have over 10,000 Canadian converted to Canadian. And then if it's over 10,000 US, you'd have to tell them on the US side. Well, I had a mixture of US and Canadian money that was equivalent to 9,500 US, 9,500. And I had forgotten that I had $2,000 in chips. So I pull up, and the lady asked me, they had just changed shifts, and the lady asked me, how much do you have? I said, I have this much US, this much Canadian. And they have a conversion thing, they type it in, and it tells them what it's equal to, and she's like, yeah, right, 9,500. Let's see. So they just changed shifts, and there were these 3 or 4 inspectors, I guess you would call them, that had just walked up to her booth. Lucky me. And so she said, okay, I want you to pull in right there, and they're going to check your money. And I'm like, oh boy. Because as soon as she asked me how much US, how much Canadian, and I told her, she specifically asked me, and it's the only time out of maybe 20 plus visits that she said, do you have any casino chips? And I said no. As soon as I said no, I realized, oh man, I do. I have 2,000 casino chips. So they tell me to pull over. I pull over. 4 of them get to work searching my car. Now, I've got these casino chips in a clear glass container in my glove box. All you gotta do is open the glove box. There's nothing else in there. A few pieces of paper and this jar full of chips. So the one guy says, come over here, and as I'm talking to him, they're searching my car, and he says, I want you to count the money in front of me. I count the US money, I count the Canadian money. It's exactly to the dollar what I told him it was going to be, because I had planned ahead, and I had a P.O. box, not a P.O. box. Woo! I had a box at the bank, which I can't think of the name of it right now. You can, because safe deposit box. And I had put all the money in there, and I had an even number, like 5,000 US, and 800 Canadian, something like that, an even number, and they're like, there's no way. So I count it, it's exactly that amount. They search my whole car. They don't find the chips in the clear jar. And they say, okay, you're good. And I'm like, really? It's that easy? And I'm like, I'm never going to do this again. I got to be more careful. Well, a couple months later, I'm far away from my safe deposit box. And I've got like, I think it was like 14,000 US. And I'm like, I want to go to Canada, but I have this money. What can I do? I'm like, what am I going to do? Go somewhere and hide it under a rock and come back and get it later? I'm like, there's got to be an easy way to do this. So I had this dumb idea to go to the casino, a casino, which was there, and I bought, I think, 4 or 5 vouchers for between $800 and $1,600. Just went to different machines, put $600 in this one, $800 in that one, $1,200 in that one, cashed them all out, got the vouchers, folded them up, folded them in half, folded them in half again, put them in my wallet, and I went across the border. And I don't know the legality of that. You can't cash it anywhere but the U.S., but it's worth something. But they're asking you about cash, right? Otherwise, they'd say, do you have any bars of gold? You know, do you have any, fancy watch that you could give to someone as payment? You know, they didn't ask me that stuff. They didn't ask me if you have any vouchers. But since then, I've never done that. But I actually was over if you counted the vouchers, but it was such a gray area. I don't know what would have happened if they would have had to say, okay, you're the one that we choose to check and count your money. Now empty out your wallet and let me look through your receipts to see if you have any slips. I mean, I'm not a criminal or anything. It's just something that happened that day. And it's never happened since then, never had a problem since then, and I'm a lot more careful. So I thought that was an interesting story to tell. 2 different times, and both times it was like, and the one time when they searched the car, I was sweating bullets, because the only time I realized I made a mistake was the 30 seconds between the time that she asked me and the time that they started looking in my car. So it was like this big whirlwind. I'm counting all this money, and okay, now here's the Canadian money. I'm counting all this plastic money, and then they're all searching my car, and I'm like, are they looking in the front, in the back? Where are they looking? And they were like, okay, he's clean. I'm like, what? So anyway, that's that. One thing about Canada too is people really don't tip. I don't know if I told you this story before, but I was playing poker in Canada one day, and I probably need to win a little in poker, so I'm not negative for the year, but and it was like a 1-2 table, and nobody was tipping, and I'm like, do people not tip in Canada? And they're like, well, it's just not enough EV for us to tip. You don't tip the waitresses either? I'm like, what in the heck is going on here? You can't even give a Canadian dollar. It's not even a US dollar. It's a Canadian dollar. 1 divided by 1.35. It's 74 cents US. You can't give away 74 cents to the waitress? Why are you in this casino? If you're that bad, you can't earn enough EV to give someone 74 cents. And actually at this casino, depending on your card level, which I had their top level, they would give you free Red Bulls and stuff like that. And people would be ordering 2 Red Bulls for free and not giving $1 to the waitress. Kind of odd to me. But anyway. All right. Well, continuing my trip, the roads are dry. It looks nice outside. No problems. Clear roads. Not a lot of traffic. 36 degrees. And I'm continuing my trip. All right, guys. I am back. I think I was cursing for about 2 hours while I was in there. Everything worked out awful. The amount of money that I ran through those machines and the swings that I had were just ridiculous to end up nowhere, basically. I walk in, I find a play right away. I lose on that one right away. Move on, find another play. Have a nice hit on that one. Go to the next machine, lose the whole thing, and down even more. And just every play was either a mediocre win or a big loss. I had one play that was a $10 a spin play that was so juicy. Should have made so much money on that. Should have been an easy $1,000. Ended up losing like 150 or 250 on that one. So it was just awful. I was in for a couple $1,000 while I was in there, and just too many plays to discuss. But I kept seeing this guy. He's like a slot manager there, real nice guy, and he was walking around, cleaning up and taking care of things and stuff. And we talked for a few minutes, and every time he'd come around, I'd be like, in a bad mood or upset about the play. But anyway, overall, just I was in there for a couple hours plus. Took over 3,000 steps in there in a tiny casino, medium casino, but 3,000 steps walking around. I probably played 30 machines while I was in there, and just could not make any money. And let me take a look. I ended the session minus $376. I was down as much as $1,400 at one point. I had put a total of about $2,000 in the machines, but didn't use it all. But just overall miserable time. And it was quiet enough in there that there was no new plays coming up, so there was no new opportunity for me. So not much that I could do there. Let me see. Right now, I'm going to go get some gas. I filled up a little bit earlier, but not completely, because the prices had shot up like 50 cents within a few days. So I just found a gas station on Upside, and I'm going to go there, and it'll be a lot cheaper, about 50 cents cheaper per gallon. I'll fill up there, and then we'll head home, and I'll have about 2.5 to 3 hours sleep before having to leave in the morning. Tomorrow I have a couple of meetings in the morning, and I think one in the afternoon, so that will be an exciting time. I'm going to skip over all the what did you eat and what did you tip, because I really didn't do much. I was at work most of the day and didn't win any jackpots or didn't tip any money. So, what are you going to do? So, tomorrow going to be a longer day, more exciting day, blackjack, slots, everything going on, and hopefully it'll be a lot better. So I'll see you then. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.